Live, local, late breaking. This is WDSU News at 6.
A father accused of stabbing and suffocating his 18-month-old daughter makes his first court appearance. Good evening, I'm Sala Kim.
And I'm Gina Swanson. Police say Mark Hambrick admitted to killing his daughter, saying that God told him to do it. Doctors will now determine if Hambrick's competent to stand trial. WDSU's Travers Mackle live at criminal court with details. Travers.
Hey there, Gina. This is a death penalty eligible case, and Hambrick's legal team wants to make sure that he's of sound mind moving forward, because this is really a case of life and death. Mark Hambrick's family said nothing while leaving court Monday morning. And last fall, the case involving Hambrick left people living in his Bywater neighborhood almost speechless.
He interacted very well with his daughter. And I mean, a lot of people, I didn't get to talk to him personally, but I know a lot of people in the neighborhood was talking about how, he thought that, she was, he was a good father.
Last October, cops say Hambrick stabbed and then suffocated his 18-month-old daughter. He remained at the scene and called police, and when they arrived, he said things that made cops question his sanity.
He gave us some details, but simply put, he told us over the phone that God made him do it.
Now, court-appointed doctors will determine if Hambrick is mentally competent to stand trial. Does this lend itself to a possibility that he may not be competent?
I'd rather let the doctors give their opinion, because they really are the ones who know. And rather than base it upon what we read in the newspaper or hear on the television, or people say, well, let and see what the doctors say, haven't evaluated him.
And a not guilty by reason of insanity plea is not uncommon to Hambrick's lawyer, Kerry Kucha. In 2014, he secured that plea for Jeremiah Wright, who had been accused of decapitating his handicapped son in Thibodaux. Kucha says the mental evaluation is necessary.
If they find that he doesn't have the capacity to proceed right now, he's sent to the forensic hospital in Jackson, Louisiana, for them to make an effort to see if they can restore him.
Legal analysts think that's likely.
They have more than a leg to stand on. He has a history that I understand of mental illness.
And as for the suspect, Hambrick, in this case, he's currently being held without bond. For now, we're live at criminal court. I'm Travers Mackle, WDSU News.
Travers, thank you. New surveillance video raising questions about a fatal stabbing outside of Mantu food store. The stabbing victim seen walking into the store Sunday, taking some beer and walking out. Moments later, police say the suspect on the top right of your screen killed the victim. Also tonight, we are hearing from the family of the victim for the first time. WDSU anchor Christina Watkins live outside the store in the 7th Ward. Christina, what did the family have to say?
Well, Gina, I talked one-on-one with the victim's niece, who was basically his daughter, and she told me she is so heartbroken, of course, as you can understand. And she also says, despite what may have happened, it wasn't worth taking his life. Let's roll that surveillance video that we obtained here from the store's owner, and we'll tell you what we know so far from police. So police say around 6 yesterday evening, Ronald Pitts, who was the victim, walked into Mantu food store. This is the surveillance video you should be looking at now. When you see the 53-year-old go right to the refrigerator, grab a 6-pack of beer and then walk right on out. The owners told me Pitts did not pay for his beer, and in the video you do not see him go to the register. All of this happened while the suspect, Kelvin Boykins, was outside on his bike. Right after Pitts walked out, the store owner's daughter ran right after him, and seconds later Boykins also ran in that same direction. NOPD says there was a fight. Then they say Pitts was stabbed. Police found him lying dead on the ground on North Durgeonwa Street. His family telling me this senseless killing needs to stop.
My uncle meant so much to me. He was everything to me, and they took that from me. They took it from my mama. Like, you can't replace that. You can't give that back. You can't give his spirit back. You can't give his laugh back. You can't give nothing of him back.
And that suspect, police arrested and charged him yesterday with a second-degree murder charge. He is being held tonight on a $250,000 bond. We're live in the 7th Ward. Christina Watkins, WDSU News.
All right, Christina, thank you so much. Turning out to weather, we were seeing some showers today in the CBD. You probably got caught up in that rain if you were out and about. Also, those showers fired up again later this evening for the drive home. WDSU meteorologist Margaret Orr joins us now with what we can expect tonight. Margaret.
So I was just looking out the window and saw some lightning. We still have some rain and thunderstorms out there. Fairly light over Metairie Road and Orleans right there by Earhart as well. Let's look at that big picture. And there's not a lot of rain out there. It just happens to be kind of close to the metro. So we're zooming in and we see some rain over the lake and over the causeway. Here we are looking in the city over towards Jefferson. You've got that light rain. This is the stronger storm right there at Kenner heading over to St. Rose. That's moving to the west. We can look at this in 3D. That's some heavy rain coming down, and look, it's heading right towards Luling. And then we've had some rain and thunderstorm activity near Homa, Gray as well, moving up towards Thibodaux. Not as much closer to the coast and on the North Shore, just some isolated rain. So as we look at the temperatures, notice the wind southeast at 15 now. 82 degrees at the airport. As you go into that evening, the rain chances will begin to go down.
All right, Margaret, thank you. New water filters have been installed inside McDonough 35 Senior High to make sure the water is free of lead. The installation took place Friday, but there are several other schools that will also receive filters in the coming weeks. Water filters will be installed at John Dibert Elementary and Esperanza Charter School this week. The Orleans Parish School Board plans to finish the installation sometime next month. The LHSAA denied an emergency appeal from Hahnville High School over recent football violations. The high school was fined $2,500 last week after being accused of improperly recruiting quarterback Andrew Robinson. The LHSAA ruled him ineligible and suspended the coach 4 weeks. An appeal hearing is set for September 13th. The school system has contacted legal counsel to assist with its course of action.
Well, new voting machines could soon be coming to Louisiana at a cost of $60 million, and the hefty price tag is not the only concern for the November elections. Cybersecurity is already an issue, and the new machines are more prone to these threats since they connect to the internet. Louisiana's current voting machines do not, and the Secretary of State says that he will roll out the new machines 5 parishes at a time starting in the spring. A study by House Democrats puts Louisiana in the top 5 states at risk of a cyber attack. Lafayette Academy holding its first day of school at the old McDonough 35 building. Why parents are still concerned about asbestos after the building was scrubbed clean.
Plus, new details on the Madden tournament mass shooting and why officials say it was a targeted attack.